find the Prophet and kill him.
Will we finally hunt the circle?
Yes. I'm done running.
What's going on, everyone? The Great Talon here, and today we're going to talk about Chorus, the space combat flight arcade-like style Star Wars-esque game, and it's very much Star Wars, all in and out, from top to bottom. We'll get into that in a little bit, but just want to say how much fun I've had with Chorus. But before I do, I just want to thank everybody for stopping by. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and maybe subscribe for more content like this. I do game reviews, movie reviews, and some TV reviews as well. So yeah, Chorus, what is it? What is it about? As you can see, it's like you're in space. It's a little like controlled open world. And when I say controlled open world, what do I mean by that? It's like, it's an open world, but it's not as like each sector in each zone has a finite amount of like things you can do in it. But I thought it was pretty open world to my liking, like, you know, open galaxy or open like space. For my liking, it wasn't too big, wasn't too small. It kind of hit that sweet spot, just right in the middle there. But yeah, so this was a nifty little open world space combat game. I really shouldn't say little though. Again, like I just said, the game, not in terms of the game's scope and scale and size, but the game's length was really like kind of longer than I thought it was going to be. I really thought this was going to be like a, you know, it wasn't that expensive. The game was only like $40 or whatever. So I'm like, oh, it's going to be like one of those like 12-hour games, 10, 12-hour games. But no, it was actually, I put like over, I think over 20 hours into the game. And I was like, wow, from side missions to main quests to like gathering resources, upgrading your ship, so on and so forth. I was pretty impressed with the length. Giggity. But I thought it was pretty fun. Yeah, and it's really what it is. It's a high octane action junkie space combat arcade-like shooter. From start to finish, and I enjoyed almost every moment of it. The story, though, is a bit convoluted and delves deep into some kind of ancient alien-like lore with enemies called the Faceless, who pretty much assimilate anything they come across. You're also dealing with resistance and defectors of the galaxy's republic, so it does really feel like Star Wars in and out. Like you're dealing with the band of rebels, you are rebels, or whatever. You're fucking killing enemies who are defected, and they don't want to. They're not with you, so they're against you. So only a Sith deals in absolutes. Blah blah blah, so on and so forth. And speaking of, we really do, folks, need a new modern space combat Star Wars game like this, because don't get me wrong, folks. The game is visceral and relentless, and I want a Star Wars space combat game just like this. The Battlefront games do not do justice. That Star Wars Squadrons game was pretty fun, but it was in first person, so I couldn't really appreciate it as much as this. I like to play my games in third person for the most part, but you know, especially when I'm playing a space combat game. Don't get me wrong, I love Star Wars Squadrons, but I don't know, Chorus, man, Chorus fired on all cylinders. It hit the right notes for me. And yeah, so I played, and it's so funny. I played the latter half of Chorus, and I had Spotify on my console. So what I did was I had it playing in the background. I played the Star Wars soundtrack. I played the Star Wars A New Hope soundtrack in the background. I played the Battle of fucking Yavin was blasting in the background, and I had like different themes, like the Imperial theme, where it's like, you know, Here They Come theme. I'm like, yeah, this is so fucking cool. It's really awesome. So I just made me want to play like a Star Wars game, like a Star Wars. That's what I pretended this whole, and it actually kind of like I said, from the resistance, and you gotta fight off the resistance and rebels, to like, you know, the whole lore of like there's like a dark energy inside of you, like to feel connected spiritually and everything. And I'm like, this feels a lot like Star Wars. Whoever wrote this game had a little bit of an influence from Star Wars. You could tell. You could definitely tell. It was really fucking rad though. And also the weapons, we're getting into the arsenal. The key weapons you get to utilize are just as cool as the actual game itself. So you get the main Gatling gun, which is like you're there for your rapid fire punishment. Then your laser, your blue laser, you get to like electrical laser to pretty much it disables enemy shields. And then heavy damage is dealt in the form of missile launchers, which are like the yellow weapon set, and it actually does bad damage to the bigger, heftier damage to those big hefty foes. You could also upgrade your ship as well. And upgrade your ship's hull and shields by collecting or purchasing upgrades in hangars across the various sectors of this decent-sized star map, different sectors of the map. So each sector of the map has different hangars where you can visit them and upgrade your ship. And each time you unlock a new sector as you progress in the story, you get new items, new weapons, and new upgrades. So which is pretty cool. You can also apply ship mods to achieve more armor, damage, and special ability enhancements. Your special abilities, known as rights, range from electrical discharges to phaser boosts, which pretty much just liquidates most enemies in its wake. You press this later in the game, you get this ability, this right. It's called a right. So you just press, I think, the right trigger, right bumper, or whatever, R1, and like you literally go and if you have enough energy stored up, you just go into this fucking like phase shift. Where you just like, it looks like you're going to hyperdrive, but you're not. So you're kind of just, but you're like, it just liquidates any enemy, pretty much almost any enemy in your fucking wake. Is pretty fucking awesome. Ship maneuvering is pretty slick and sleek as well, allowing you to warp, boost, drift, and of course, do a barrel roll. My only complaints were there is a data leak bug going around with Chorus. It's one of the few games, I think another game called Control has this bug, where if you encounter it, what happens is it causes the game to crash, but not in the traditional sense where the screen will just blink and then you'll be at the main menu. It is a very scary bug because it displays an error message where you think something's wrong with your Xbox console, and that's not the case. It just says that the game has maxed out the RAM of this console, and you need to it reaches this max memory, and you have to like restart it. And what is it's a RAM leak. It's a memory leak within the game itself, and they have yet to patch it. So the only workaround I found was that works is if you get these constant error messages, which pops up sporadically the longer sessions you play, is to uninstall and reinstall the game. It's as simple as that. And upgrade and apply any upgrades, patches, or whatever as you're reinstalling it. I did that, and knock on wood, I didn't have any more bugs like that, and I played the game for a few hour sessions at a time. And if I would have done that prior to uninstalling and reinstalling, I would have inevitably got that message again, and I didn't. So that works. If anybody's encountering that bug, that's a workaround. It's unfortunately going to take a few points off my score because, again, you got to have your quality control has to be up to speed, up to par, has to be on top of their game at all times, and it wasn't here. So it's very unfortunate that they did not course correct this. But anyway, other than that, I found there's a scanning ability you get to like find your next objective and even enemies on the map. It leaves a bit much to be desired and could use for some tweaking, since it's very hard to spot enemies and objects by using that scanning thing. And it's like, because it's in a 360 like field of view, so it's very hard to see it because the icons are so tiny, the little markers are so tiny. So I wish that would have been enhanced a little bit, tweaked a little bit more. Maybe they'll do that if there's a sequel or whatever. But overall though, I enjoyed much of my time with this one and can safely recommend it to anyone who's been craving a good old space combat game that screams Star Wars all around. It truly does, folks. It's just amazing how much it screams Star Wars from start to finish. It's fucking uncanny. Just makes me want to play a Star Wars game like this, but there is none that isn't like over 10 years old. So with that being said, so if I had to score Chorus on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It's still a great game despite all of its bugs, glitches, and little tiny nitpick shortcomings. Again, play this game. It's $40, I think. And you can get it for like 30 now. I think it's on sale for like 30. Or just wait for it to come on Game Pass, because a game like this kind of screams Game Pass in time, because it's one of those like B level games. You got the AAA games, the A, B, C. This is like right in that sweet spot of a B level game where it's like, or an A- game, or like an A- game, I would consider it. And I see those games ending up on Game Pass sooner or later. I mean, hell, we even got Guardians of the Galaxy on Game Pass, and that's my next game. That's my next game I'm going to play. Finally, I'm going to fucking finally get into it. Anyway, with that being said, that is my review of Chorus. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch everybody next time. Thanks, as always, for stopping by.